This is the Photoshop panel when you first open it up, and I'd like to explain to you some of the things you'll see on this panel. Most of the Adobe Creative Suite programs work about the same way in that there's a canvas or a center area where my cursor is located now. On the left are toolbars, and on the right are panels and panel groups. Let's look at the top. These are the command sets. These appear on almost all of the Creative Suite programs. You have File, Edit, and as you go along, these change depending on what program you're on. In Photoshop, they're Image, Layer, Type, Select, etc. Now, most of the programs have different variations of the way the display is shown to you, and there's a little tweak up here at the top so you can select different views of how the program operates. This one is defaulted to Essentials, but there's also other views here. If I click on 3D, the panels change and they are more appropriate for somebody who's working with 3D images. If I'm a photographer, I might select the one for photography, and it changes the organization of the panels in the display. The same is true if I select the one for typography, if I want to work on type. And you see what happens on the right side. The panels change according to the needs of the task you're doing. Let's start back in Essentials. Let's look over at the left side of the screen. On the left side of the screen is a toolbar, and this is a very similar toolbar to the one that is located in Fireworks or Illustrator, and it has a variety of tools. The top set of the tools here are mostly brushes and selection tools. Here are some Photoshop photo retouching tools. There's a paintbrush here, a rubber stamp, an eraser. Here's one for creating a graded background. Here are vector tools, a pen tool, a text tool. This allows you to select vector items, a direct select tool. And this one allows you to draw rectangles. At the bottom, there are two boxes. The one box which has black now is the foreground color, and the other box, which is white now, has the background color. Over on the right, I have several panels open, one for color, another for swatches. Here are adjustments, another one for styles. Here is layers, because Photoshop has a layered formula to it. Channels, this would be RGB in this case, or CMYK if the image is a printed image. And paths. I have no paths selected yet. On this large stacked image, there's also other panels that are hidden behind here. So if I click, I get the History panel, and here if I click on this panel, I get Properties panel. So these, and the panels, of course, can be collapsed by clicking on this right thing, or expanded by clicking on that. And you can take panels and drag them out to see them larger, or you can take panels and drag them back and place them in their position. But that's the basic layout. Now, when tools are selected, the top layer here is contextual. Hello. It's contextual. So right now, this tool that's selected is the Move tool. And you can see the variety of switches I have with the Move tool. But when I select the Marquee tool, it changes to a variety of different commands depending on which tool is selected. I'm going to move the cursor down to the Text tool, and when I select the Text tool, you see that the top contextual menu has changed to allow me to select different types of images properties, my font, and the boldness or the particular text of the font, the size of the type, the alignment of the type, the color of the type, and there's also a window for working with the character styles. So this is the basic layout when you first open Photoshop.